Do you hate metronomes? Do you suck at staying in time? You know, does the clicking just drive you crazy? Well, I got the solution for you, quite honestly. Another metronome, because you should be practicing with one, unfortunately. I know, it's pretty bad that you're not, if that's the case, you know, No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna stop beating you up. But I got something pretty cool. The Core Steel, the first vibrating metronome. We're gonna see how this guy works, because this is driving me crazy. For any of you that are new here, my name is Lexi Rose. I am a guitarist, and I like to fiddle around with music stuff, as you might be able to tell. Today we're going to take a closer look at the Core Steel. Sound Brenner had sent me over this lovely metronome. We're going to look over its functions, see how it works, see if it's worth it, and how this would compare to just a regular tippity-tappity metronome. In case that drives you nuts, I know this is supposed to be pretty silent, but let's get into it. So our first look-see at this Core Steel here, we'll see that the package, it's a little bit messed up in transit, but this is a pretty sturdy box. I think it's probably fine. But let's take a closer look and see what it comes with. So here we have basic startup manual, everything in here, probably important. You should read that, you know, don't do what I do. We have a set of lovely earplugs here. Nice little case for a keychain. Pop those in when you need them. Over here, we have the silicone strap that it comes with. We have the body strap. So apparently you can really use this watch anywhere, wherever you feel comfortable. So it's good to move this around and try out different spots. Here's the extension. We have the core itself in the flesh, or more of the steel, I should say. We have the magnetic, ooh, wow, that's pretty strong, guitar mount for your little tuner to plug onto the back, well, the headstock of your guitar. Over here we have the carrying pouch, and for convenience sake, I put the charger in there, and this nice Italian leather strap that they give you. It's actually pretty stylish. It's like getting an Apple Watch or a Fitbit or something like that. It looks like fun. So to get this guy to function, you're gonna have to download the Sound Brenner app. It's pretty easy. You're gonna go into the app, and then it's gonna give you some setup instructions, just like if you were to set up a Fitbit or an Apple Watch or something like that. And then you have greater control over things like the tap tempo and the vibration settings, and you know, just the colors of the lights and all that fun stuff. You'll also get a 3-month free subscription to their premium. So you can try that out, but you don't need the premium to be able to use this. So here it is, the Core Steel. Now this is just like a smartwatch. You flip it and it displays your time, your date, my battery percentage. I have to go and charge that. But it's pretty awesome. I've been getting all of my notifications, and if someone calls me, I get a buzz, all those great functions. And this thing is super easy to use. You have 2 buttons right here on the side. So you click this smaller button, right? And that turns on the screen. You click it again and you're on your main menu. Then you have the wheel, and basically you'll turn the wheel to get through all of your settings. So it's very simple to navigate. If we go back to the beginning, we have our metronome mode. We have our tuner, our decibel meter, our timer, stopwatch, and extra settings. Now, if you want to get into any of these, you just press that little button one more time, and then you're ready to go. And if you want to exit one of those things, there's a big button on the side, and that will take you right out of it. Let's take a look at some of these features on here. So let's open up this screen. We have our metronome. So to get into the metronome, you're just going to click that small button on the side one more time, and then you can get into the tempo. So basically the way that you would start this is you would tap it. So we have a tap tempo. You can tap it to whatever relative speed that you want. It'll just average it out based off of your tap. So if I want to slow this down a little bit, because we're at 194 beats per minute. And now we're at 212 beats per minute. So I didn't really slow that down. I think I was feeling a little bit faster than before. But that's okay. Sometimes it's better if we go faster. So that's how you access the metronome. Pretty straightforward. If you click that little small button again, you can also change the time signature. You can change what notes you're playing. You can also change the pulse. You have a little bit more control of that. Let's see, we can start that up. So you get a little bit more of a buzz, you know? A lot that you could play around with, basically like a regular metronome, but you're working with that vibration instead. So here we have the decibel meter, so I'm gonna push that little button on the side again, and it's automatically gonna start recording all the audio that's next to the core steel. And basically what's gonna happen is if we hit an unhealthy decibel range, a little alarm is gonna go off and it's gonna tell us that we need to turn that down or get out of the room or something like that so we don't blow our eardrums. Next off, we have the timer. So again, clicking that little button will access that. We can set the time, the hours just by moving the little wheel. You know, you just press that little button on the side again, and then you could do the minutes and the seconds. And then when you want to start the timer, you just tap twice, and then you should be good to go. In about 2 hours, I will get a wonderful pulsating that will let me know that this is done. Next off, we have our stopwatch. Now we'll hit that little button on the side again, and this is pretty easy to start. All you have to do is tap twice, and now we've started our stopwatch. Click that again. The next thing that we have are settings. You know, we'll click into that. Just have a quick overview. We have airplane mode, which is off, Bluetooth, smartphone connection, notifications, factory reset if you need to do that. I hope not. Your FCC ID, serial number, and firmware. We're gonna go for it. That's interesting. That is really interesting. Wait, you know what? We're gonna put it on the bicep. But so far, form is not bad. I'm not even gonna lie. I think on the wrists, like, I can't feel it as much on my wrists, which is a little bit annoying. But let's go for this and see what happens. I gotta try this out in some other spots, honestly. They said the chest was a big one. You could do it on your leg. I like it on the arm. Okay, well, we're gonna play around with this a little. It's actually not as hard to get used to as I thought it would be. This might actually be better than the bicep, even though that was pretty bad. I feel like I can follow along better, and this would actually sound good if I tuned my guitar. I should do that. On the leg. We've got it on the leg. That's interesting. That's like a weird massage. I kind of do want to strap this to my forehead before we move on. Why is my head so big? Intermission. Okay, this needs to be faster. This is just like so slow. Okay, my final takeaway on this watch. It's got some things that I really like. You know, when you just play with the metronome, you hear that clicking. With this, what I find is that actually feeling the vibration allows me to focus a little bit more on what I'm playing, because you're not hearing that click. I'm just hearing what I'm doing. I'm looking out for mistakes, how I'm playing something, if it's clean, if I'm feeling it. and it becomes more of a second nature, because I think, you know, when you're playing music, you're feeling the song around you, you're feeling that beat, and at least with this, you're feeling that vibration, and you're not becoming so dependent on a click. And I think that's a really cool feature. It does take a minute to get used to, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's completely different from a regular metronome to like a certain extent. So it takes a little bit of practice. But overall, I think it's pretty cool. You know, I think it's a good idea, and I think you could take away from it, and it would probably be more helpful than just a standard metronome, just to be able to hear, you know, what you're playing and feel that beat. So another really cool thing about this metronome is that you can connect it to your DAW and then use the metronome in sync with that, which is like super helpful for someone like me where I'm recording videos. I could just wear this and set that to the tempo of whatever song that I'm playing. Another thing is the battery life is supposed to last 4 days in just watch mode, so if you're gonna use it like an Apple Watch or something like that, just a smart watch, and then it lasts 3 hours in metronome mode. So if you have a crazy practice routine, I would bring a charger with you. So another feature that I really like about this watch is that I never have to worry about playing louder than my metronome. There are times where, you know, I'm playing and I want to push it a little bit, I want to drive my neighbors crazy, and I'm just getting too loud and I can't really hear it anymore. I tend to just use the metronome on my phone too, so my phone only gets so loud. Whereas with this, I could just play as loud as my little heart really desires. There's no problem, I can blast it, I'm always gonna feel the beat, I'm never gonna lose track of that, and you know, that's great. So if you're interested in trying out one of these metronomes for yourself, Sound Brenner provided me with a 20% discount code when you type in Lexi20. So if you want to try something out, you can get 20% off. You know, let me know how it goes down in the comments if this is something that you're interested in, if you'd be willing to try that out, if it's not really your thing. I'm curious, let me know.